What up, Detroit? It's Rob Parker, and coming up on Shop Talk, the guys debate the quarterback change in Chicago. Will that help the Lions or will it hurt them? Also, we take a look in at the Derek Coleman Tip-Off Classic. That was a lot of fun. Plus, we'll have the Sneaker Challenge. Shop Talk starts right now. Some people think the best place to talk about sports is on the radio. No way, no how. It's in the barbershop. I should know. I'm a sports analyst. Detroit is a 5-point favorite. Devin, save your money, I know. And I own a barbershop in Detroit. And the cats in the barbershop, they think they know everything about sports.
Get ready for Rob Parker's Shop Talk. Real sports, real talk.
Shop Talk TV is brought to you by Bob Maxey Ford and by Wingstop. Also, Nick's Chips.
This is Shop Talk.
Welcome into Shop Talk on this Saturday. I'm Rob Parker. Let's kick it off with Getting Rob, where you get my take on the biggest sports stories of the week. We start in Ann Arbor. Reports say that Michigan has offered Jim Harbaugh a 6-year, $48 million contract. If he were to accept it, it would make him the highest paid college football coach in the country. Of course, Jim Harbaugh played quarterback at Michigan. It's his alma mater. This will be very interesting to see which way the San Francisco 49ers coach heads. The Lions play their biggest football game of the year. Obviously, it's on the road against Chicago, but in this time, it has a twist. Jay Cutler has been benched. Jimmy Clausen will be the starting quarterback for the Bears. The Lions have had a lot of issues winning football games in Chicago, but this time they have an advantage with a quarterback who hasn't played in a couple of years, at least hasn't started in a few years, in Jimmy Clausen. This game could determine whether or not the Lions make the playoffs or not. And finally, the Pistons play the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn on Sunday. This will be interesting, just that the Pistons had looked like they made a couple of strides. They won a couple of games out west, which they hadn't done in a while. But now they've come home, they've struggled again. So now they go on the road against Brooklyn. They need a road win or at least some consistency for people to feel like this team is getting better. So far, it's been not a pretty picture. Getting Rob is sponsored by Fathead. For real. Now it's time for the big debate. It's sponsored by Bob Maxey, the only Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer in downtown Detroit. To reach him, call 313-392-9200 or visit them on the web at bobmaxeyford.com. It was announced this week that the Chicago Bears will bench starting quarterback Jay Cutler and instead start Jimmy Clausen instead against the Lions this coming Sunday. Bill, good thing or bad thing? We know Jay Cutler's had a rough season, but do you want a new quarterback looking for maybe who's trying to win a job to be the guy trying to spoil your season?
At this point, Rob, you know what? I don't care who it is. The Lions defense is hungry. This has championship implications. We don't care who it is. Jimmy Clausen, Jimmy Campbell, Jimmy Crackcorn. We don't care.
Jimmy Crackcorn.
We don't care. Bring them on. You know, it's just Jay Cutler wasn't gonna get it, and Jimmy Cutler is gonna get it because he's gonna show up against the Lions. We don't care.
Cal, you good with it too? I mean, you know, we've seen these scenarios where guys come out of the blue looking for a job. Right. You don't have that much tape. I haven't seen him play Clausen in a while. He can give you some issues.
Yeah, he can give you some issues, but I'm gonna go back to Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is probably one of the worst quarterbacks right now in the league. He has a few good years, and he has all the weapons in the world. Pro Bowler Alshon Jeffries, Pro Bowler Brandon Marshall, Pro Bowler Matt Forte. So what's his issue?
Well, but that's my question is he's had 24 turnovers this year, Cutler. He's had a bad year. To me, with all those guys adding a new quarterback, to me, Mike, you could have an issue. That's why I'm saying it ain't the layup that people think it is because they do have receivers, and who knows if Jimmy Clausen comes out there, you're taking away a bad quarterback in Cutler and replacing him with an unknown factor.
Yeah, me as a receiver, I'm thinking it could go wrong because you got Brandon Marshall and Jeffrey saying, no, just throw me the ball now. Mm-hmm. You the puppet. Right. You're not Jay Cutler. You're not the starter. You get in there, do what I asked you to do, and if it turn out bad, that could be an L.
And also, Mo, this is a scary game. The Bears have nothing to lose. This is always why sometimes at the end of the year it's not as easy. You play the role of spoilers. This is your big game of the year. And I'm saying, again, Jimmy Clausen, maybe he thinks he has a shot to be the starting quarterback next year. He goes out there, beats the Lions. Don't you think that Chicago's going to take a look at him maybe for next year?
I don't see it happening. Jimmy Clausen, it shows with his track record when he played with Carolina. He's not that good. Everybody said, oh, Jimmy Clausen's going to be that poison he came to the league. No, you're wrong. And they're going to put him in a bad situation because all he has is Al Jefferson. Brandon Marshall's out with a broken rib, so let's not forget that. And he got Matt Forte. He has no plan, no type of commitment or nothing like relationship with these players as they have now. So we're gonna throw him into the fly. We're gonna throw him into the lion pit and see how he plays against that Lions defense. Right. That Lions defense is gonna put the pressure on Jimmy Clausen, and he's gonna fold like a fold-up chair. Fold him and get him out of here. Get Jay Cutler back in there. Jay Cutler, he's their best bet if they want to try to beat the Lions. They cannot mess with the Lions.
See, this is the only thing I'll say, and it says a lot about Jay Cutler in that they owe him $15 million next year to be, and so it looks like he's still going to be around. So this is a weird move unless you're really trying to audition or take a real look at a Jimmy Clausen for the future, because it doesn't make sense why you would make this move.
This makes a Bears organization look Bush League at best. You got a starting quarterback, you owe him money. He's had a bad season, but if he was so bad, why didn't you bench him after the first half of the last game when you were down 28-0? If you're not going to go with him the next game, then why don't you give Jimmy Clausen some reps so he can be ready? Right. So they look crazy.
I say sit Cutler so he won't get hurt. It's our $15 million
so
man. It's like the Lions situation.
They're benching him because he's bad, though, Mo.
He's been bad. He had 24. He has 24.
They bench him because the season's over with.
It is.
Right. He's had a bad season.
If it's over, why would you go back? Why would you backtrack and let him play it out?
It doesn't make sense, but this is it for the Lions. The Lions have a golden opportunity and can't afford to lose to a guy like Jimmy Clausen.
Check out the Shop Talk Rundown. Here's what's coming up. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
If you have a story, we'll help you tell it. At DMRS Media Group, we are your visual storytellers. We specialize in digital media production and brand communications. We create and produce independent television programming, promotional videos, special event videos, and much more. DMRS will also write and distribute your press release. Give us a call at 313-778-8604 and visit dmrsmediagroup.com. For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
Now it's time for Homeboy Highlights.
This week's homeboy is Spartan basketball junior guard Denzel Valentine. Valentine drew a crowd of defenders, then drew praise from tough-to-please Tom Izzo after Michigan State's latest display of hot shooting. Valentine, labeled by his coach as his team's hardest worker, scored 19 points, hitting 5 from 6 from the three-point range and added 4 assists and 1 steal as the Spartans beat Oakland 87-61 last week. Congrats, Mr. Valentine. You are this week's homeboy.
Now it's time for Preps Talk.
There's some great things going on in the city. I'm here at Derek Coleman's DC Tournament, Elite Tournament. Check it out.
One of the things that we've been doing here also is not just about basketball. Basketball is just a part
what DC Elite is all about. Basketball is the draw, education is the key. So we had these kids come in, from Chicago, and we also had girls for this year, our first year ever doing something, because nobody ever does anything for our young ladies. So Saturday and Sunday, we had girls teams, come in and play, and we also have a symposium for them where we have speakers come in and tell them about, the whole life skills about being a young lady, the opportunities that are out there for you, as well as the biggest thing that's going on right now across the country is social media.
How big is this win tonight at this tournament for your school?
Well, it's always good to get off to a good start. We got a young team, so it's about really working and getting better, building some confidence. So it's a good win, but most important time is the playoffs. So, this is all about growth and development right now.
Coach, how important is this tournament here for the city of Detroit?
It's extremely important. What Derek's done the last couple of years is awesome. I think it gives our guys a chance to showcase what we have. There's been some talk about Detroit kind of fading in the basketball scene, and it's nice to have a chance to show that's not the case. And I think we did a good job of it yesterday, just as Chicago.
Tom Izzo here, yesterday, Wojciechowski from Marquette. We probably had about 15, college coaches, but exposure, and that's why we do it, to get our kids exposure and get us opportunity to go, to college or universities, D1, D2, D3, or whatever.
There you have it, Derek Coleman's DC Elite Tournament, an annual event that goes on each year, Detroit versus Chicago, a great opportunity for our youth. I'm Antoine Marshall, Shoptalk TV.
More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out tshirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to tshirtpalace.com and get started.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
If you have a story, we'll help you tell it. At DMRS Media Group, we are your visual storytellers. We specialize in digital media production and brand communications. We create and produce independent television programming, promotional videos, special event videos, and much more. DMRS will also write and distribute your press release. Give us a call at 313-778-8604 and visit dmrsmediagroup.com.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081.
And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cut.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cuts.
Now it's time for Trash Talking Twitter.
Miles Jackson at Eyes on the Prize says, she said I always start too fast and finish quick in victory. Maybe the Lions need to adopt that same pattern. Hashtag enough with the luck, let's go.
If you want to trash anyone or anything in sports, hit us up on our Twitter.
Time to change gears. Here's hip hop news.
Hey everyone, I'm your girl Elle Beasley, and here's the latest in hip hop news. 50 Cent has a few things to say about Jay-Z and his new boxing venture. It has been known for some time that Jay-Z has been trying to move his Roc Nation sports management company into the boxing arena, one that 50 has been in for a long time. In a recent interview with BET.com, 50 Cent said that Jay-Z is setting himself up for failure, as boxing is like no other sport when it comes to promotion or management. He says, "I think they're gonna clean Jay up. The sport of boxing is going to clean him up, and he's going to find out it's not like any other portion of business that he's been involved in. You can't just buy your way into it by purchasing existing companies and stuff like that," he said. "You look at the roster of fighters, you have to have experienced people around to run it, but boxing is like the fur coat business. We don't know how much they actually sold the jacket." In other news, what's going on with the hip-hop scene in Vancouver, Canada? Matter of fact, who knew Vancouver had a hip-hop scene? According to Vancouver hip-hop artist Sunreal, Vancouver's hip-hop scene has a lot of talent. There's a lot of people that are really good at doing music and hip-hop music, a lot of talented producers and stuff, but the scene hasn't quite developed yet. A lot of talent stays in the city. Sunreal also explains that while the city has a lot of dope talent, it's their business sense that has kept them from reaching their potential nationally. He says Vancouver's business sense for music hasn't quite gotten there yet, he said. "There isn't a lot of people making it out of the city, to be completely honest with you. A lot of people are doing it within the city limit." And finally, rapper Red Cloud is known to freestyle at his live shows. Last month, the Hawthorne, California MC freestyled for 18 hours, 1 minute, and 14 seconds. Long enough to break the previous Guinness World Record of 17 straight hours. Red Cloud says his inspiration came from an altruistic place. "We put on an event every corner at the airliner in LA called Indigenous Angels. Every time we do this show, we pick a different charity to donate our proceeds to. This time, my girlfriend, Crystal Lightning, said, let's do it for our missing sisters in Canada. And I thought this is perfect. If I can honor these women and bring awareness to this epidemic in Canada using my attempt to break the world record, then it would be perfect." All right, that's the news. I'm your girl, Elle Beasley. See you next week.
All right, now it's time for No Way, No How, where we preview the Lions' upcoming game this week. This week we welcome in John Davis, our resident football guru here at the shop. What up, JD? How you doing? Of course, the big story in Chicago is that Jay Cutler will not start against the Lions, and instead Jimmy Clausen will be the starter. Good thing or bad thing for the Lions?
Absolutely one of the best things that could happen to the Lions this week. Jimmy Clausen hasn't started an NFL game since 2010. The Bears are the definition of dysfunction. You got the highest paid player in the NFL basically ski masking money away from the Bears. You have a dysfunctional locker room. You have a dysfunctional coach who should be fired. You have a dysfunctional.
I'm sure he will be at some point, but John, before you get there.
Hold on. You have a GM that needs to be fired because he's the one that bought the groceries for this mess.
All right, but my point is that Jimmy Clausen might look at this as an opportunity to try to win a job. This is his chance, maybe these last two games. That's all I'm saying is sometimes when you haven't seen a guy in a little bit in a while play, you don't have that tape. So that's all I'm saying is that it's not the layup that I think everybody thinks it is.
But the problem is the rest of the team has already checked out. They've already planned their vacations.
Well, look, let's take a look at the Lions from their side. Offensively last week against Minnesota, John, not a pretty picture.
No, it wasn't.
And again, you ask yourself, why are they struggling against a team like that? And that was at home. Now you're going on the road, outdoors, in Chicago, where the Lions have not had a lot of success.
You look at the Bears, who've only won 2 games at Soldier Field all year, and those were against sub-500 teams. So, you know, all of this, we got to go into the Soldier Field. We got to be afraid to go into Soldier Field. That's nonsense.
All right, here we go. Let's do our weekly picks, of course, for the games. Of course, people shop John, the Lions homer he is. Who are you picking?
The Lions 24, Bears 10.
So 24-10. As you know, if you watched the show, I picked the Lions the last couple of weeks to win, and they won those games. I sure did. But this week, I'm going off the grid. This is where the season derails. In Chicago, outside in the cold, I'm going 17-16 Bears.
Wait a minute. In the words of a great philosopher, the Bears are who we thought they were.
It's Shop Talk's Cut of the Week.
What up, though, Detroit? I'm Cal. This my man E. Today, E is rocking the all-even haircut with the razor line up top, razor line on the bottom, make that line up pop. Check that out. You want to come see me? We at 13011 West 7 Mile. Call the shop, 313-345-4028. At Sporty Cuts. This is how we do it.
Why are you running?
More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. For the best sports coverage on the web, go to theshadowleague.com. Coverage with a cultural perspective. Check it out.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out t-shirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to t-shirtpalace.com and get started.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222. You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
If you have a story, we'll help you tell it. At DMRS Media Group, we are your visual storytellers. We specialize in digital media production and brand communications. We create and produce independent television programming, promotional videos, special event videos, and much more. DMRS will also write and distribute your press release. Give us a call at 313-778-8604 and visit dmrsmediagroup.com.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cuts.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cuts.
Now it's time for At the Movies with Greg.
Well, great to see you both. Good to see you. You look completely different.
I do?
Yeah?
What do you mean? So to me, Miss Hannigan is really what I really look like. In my mind's eye, I look like Miss Hannigan.
Aha.
I do. That's what I would wear every day. That's how I would do myself up every day if I wasn't trying to sort of, just blend in to the world.
Right. So I say, because she was a wild
She was.
woman and also frustrated
Flamboyant.
about that career. And I
Yes.
said, we all danced to that song.
I know,
CNC
right?
Music Factory, of course.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
She looks pretty incredible when she comes down to her date with Guy.
Right.
She cleans up really,
Yes, she
really,
does.
really
Yes,
good.
She was like, I got my fall on.
And my last name is this, but it's not permanent.
Exactly.
That's right.
And then your guy here, it's so funny because you watch it and knowing that he's working to help him get elected, and you realize you may be joking per se in the movie, but that's how the guys really do it when they're trying to get somebody elected.
Absolutely,
with
yeah.
all that.
I think like we've gotten used to now, like because there's so many cameras on all the time and so many channels. I think we've gotten used to seeing so much of what goes on behind the scenes and meeting these people and knowing who they are by name, and they're pundits and they're on all kinds of channels, that like it sort of encourages this larger than life personality. These guys are like bigger than the people that they're representing.
At the Movies with Greg is sponsored by Nick's Chips. Grab a bag and enjoy.
Here's the Instagram shop of the day.
Check out JJ's Barbershop located at 24300 Meadowbrook Road in Novi. Give them a call at 248-477-0010 and visit jjsbarbershop.com.
If you want your shop featured, hit us up on our Instagram account, Shoptalk TV.
Now it's time for a segment we call What You Sportin'. What You Sportin' is sponsored by the Restaurant Fashion Bistro on 10 Mile and Southfield Road. This week we welcome in Mike to What You Sportin', and of course, Mo, one of the reigning champs of What You Sportin'. All right, Mike, you go first. What you sporting this week?
Yep, rocking some classic Adidas Crazy 8s. One of Kobe's first shoes in his old contract. Really unique design. One of the hottest classic shoes on the market right now. So.
All right, Mo, what you sporting?
Well, I got my Dwayne Wade Jordans on, you know what I'm saying? That's when he's with Jordan right now. And these were some of the classic Jordans ever that you might see. So when I got these on, I feel like I'm just the best at anything that I do. So you see them.
Okay, y'all both put your feet up real quick. Let me see what you got. Mo, those are sweet. I really like those. But you know what? Put your foot down. In honor of Kobe, who just passed Michael Jordan this past week, we're going to go with the Kobe
yeah, boy.
8s. There you go. You're the winner, Mike.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead. Give it to us.
God.
All right, that's our show for this week. We'll see you next week, and enjoy your Lions-Bears game on Sunday.
Interested in sponsorship or advertising on Shoptalk TV? Give us a call at 313-948-6100.
And check out our podcast every week. Join Eric Vincent and myself, Rob Parker, on the Shop Talk podcast.